Steve, let's start with the Man City transfer window. A few signings coming in: Donnarumma, James Trafford. Let's start there with the goalkeeper situation. How do you think, firstly, James Trafford feels seeing Donnarumma come in so late?
Yeah, it's a bit strange. I think personally that Edison was probably going to be number one. I think Trafford was going to maybe shadow him for a season and then fight it out the next season after that, or maybe Edison was going to leave. Donnarumma becoming available, I don't think anyone expected it, and I think he's that good of a goalkeeper. Manchester City just thought, you know what, we're going to grab him for that price. It is a bit unfortunate on Trafford. We've seen Trafford play the first few games. He's been great shot stopping, goalkeeping wise, all round goalkeeping wise. I think he's great, but we know he's not Edison with his feet. But Manchester City fans are a bit strange because last season they're screaming that we need a goalkeeper, a better all round goalkeeper than Edison. And now we signed two better all round goalkeepers than Edison, and now they're screaming that we need someone to play with the feet. So you just can't please everybody. But I feel like Donnarumma's gives us a bit of a bigger presence at the back. I feel like our back four at the minute is not the best, so hopefully with Donnarumma behind him, then hopefully he can add something to him.
Elsewhere in the window, business was done. Ryan Cherky, Ryan Ait Nouri, and a player who I think could be signing of the season in Reinders coming in from AC Milan. Overall, with your transfer window, how happy are you?
I mean, great signings. Reinders, like you said, very, very promising. Looks the part. I think he'd take him a bit of time to get into it, but I think he's going to be a great player. Cherky, I think, is a bit of a maverick. So he's going to be, I think we're going to get some fantastic games out of him. We're going to get some poor games out of him. And Eight Naori's he's prem proven, left back stroke winger. I think he's more comfortable attacking than defending. That can be a problem. But I think all Manchester City fans will agree that the problem's been right back. We've got no right back at the club. We're playing Rico Lewis there. We've played Cousinov there. We've played Mateus Nunes there. I mean, it's not ideal because the defence is lacking a little bit of pace since Kyle Walker left. So I think the transfer window's been good on some parts, but the lack of right back is worrying when you're signing two goalkeepers. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Some of the outgoings, as I mentioned, Edison already was there for the best part of 10 years and really changed the game for goalkeepers in the Premier League. But for me, the big one as well was Jack Grealish. It was a bit of a hit and miss at times, injury-ridden time at Man City, but the one season was fit all season. It was unbelievable. And he's almost started to flourish at Everton already at the start of this season. Were you sad to see Jack leave?
Yeah, I am sad to see Jack leave. I think a lot of City fans are. I think with Jack, I think he'd openly admit it. Was he always the best behaved? Probably off the field at Manchester City, probably not. Um, But him and Pep seem to have this like love-hate relationship where in the treble season he was relied on nearly 50 odd times in that season. He won the treble, but he just didn't quite hit the form. But I feel like Pep was to blame sometimes with that. You never give him a proper run. We'd see him pop up as a number 10 in a game. He'd be outstanding, man of the match. Then he'd be dropped for two games. So I feel like after the FA Cup final, when he brought on Echeverri, has never kicked a ball in English football ahead of him. I feel like that was when Jack probably thought his days were numbered. And like you say, we as City fans wish him all the best. He's gone to Everton there. I think he can play with a little bit more freedom. And he's not coming up against teams every week that are going to go in a low block. He's going to be able to play football, enjoy it. So I, for one, wish him all the best. And I think we've got to sell on. They've got an obligation to buy 50 million. So if we can get 50 million back for Jack um, after his best season produced a treble, I think I'll be happy with that.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the season so far for you guys. Two losses, losing to Brighton and Spurs after winning the opener against Wolves. What are your thoughts on the season so far after three games?
Wolves thought we turned the corner. I thought we looked very exciting, very, very sharp, had a lot of different options, which we didn't have last season. And then Tottenham exposed us at the Etihad. They pressed us. Um, they worked harder than us. We've shown a little bit of a soft underbelly. The goalkeeping situation was a problem. They knew if they could get at Trafford early, he was going to panic. And then we went to Brighton, played well for 60, 70 minutes, looked relatively comfortable. and then they brought four people on. We decided to change the back four. Rico Lewis goes into midfield, and then the last 10 minutes were the shambles. We got exposed again, and we end up losing. So, I mean, last season we lost to Tottenham 4-0, and we lost to Brighton as well in the same circumstances. So, a lot of City fans are panicking. I'm trying my best not to panic, trying my best to keep it positive. It is only 3 games, but um, it's hard not to look back and think, hold on a minute, we seen these signs last season. What have you done to improve it? I was fortunate enough to speak to a couple of the players after the game privately, and they assured me that, listen, we've got a lot of change at the club, new backroom staff, new signings, etc. It'll come good. So you've just got to go off what the players are saying, and hopefully it all clicks into gear.
Up next, Manchester Derby. How much does this game mean to you as a City fan, regardless of how United are performing over the last couple of seasons?
Yeah, I mean, it's a generational thing, I think. Like with me growing up in Manchester in the 80s and the 90s, they were a dominant side. So, we grew up to hate them, you know what I mean? And we were languishing in Division Two. They were taking the piss, winning the treble and sticking the boot into us. So for me, the hatred runs deep. You know what I mean? I can't stand them. You know what I mean? I want to win this game. Last season when they beat us, I was fuming. It was the manner of it. I can take one thing Man City's always done in a derby, whether we've had Benjani up front, Darius Vassell up front, or fucking Lee Bradbury up front, is we fight for the badge and we're proud of the badge on the shirt. Last season was just we went out with a whimper to a poor Man United team. We lost an FA Cup final to one after beating them in the treble season. So it's up and down at the minute between us. I do actually think they're probably made to take advantage of what we're lacking at the minute. Both fullbacks of ours are not doing the best. They've got Mbuemo and Cunha that can transition very fast. But it's a derby, like you say. I've seen some of the best Manchester City teams lose against a poor United side, and I've seen some of the poorest Man City teams go and win against a great Man United side. So I just listen. I'll take 1-0 in a derby. It's just bragging rights for me, and get it over with.
Absolutely. Form goes out the window. Um, Prediction. Where do you think City will finish in the league this season and why?
Listen, I was full of beans after the Wolves game. I thought we're going to win the league, etc., etc. We've had our wings clipped a little bit now, so I'm looking at it thinking, shit, is it going to be the same? I'm still going to say we're going to win the league. I feel like there's going to be a few twists and turns in it. I feel like City need to get their act together. I think Pep will get them pumped up. I just feel like we've started slow, but if we're in and around the top come the last 10 games, that's when Manchester City usually turn it on and can start cranking up the pressure. So I'm still saying City win the league, but can't lie, I'm not as confident as I was that first week of the season.
If you could sign one player for City, who would be your dream signing?
Um, the dream signing at the minute, um, don't know. I'm really looking at. I feel like we need a centre back. I feel like we really do need a centre back. Um, I like that Hoyson that left to go to Real Madrid. I feel like he's got everything to be the top, everything that we need, calm on the ball, etc. I do like Branthwaite at Everton as well, but he's a little bit injury prone. Do you know what I mean? But I would have signed that Hoyson, or I mean, I do like Jude Bellingham. You know what I mean? I know he had a big first season. He's been injured, but I think Jude Bellingham back in England at Manchester City, I'd like to see that.
And finally, who's the biggest prospect on City's books that people should watch out for in years to come, in your opinion?
Um, we've got quite a good setup in the academy. There's a young lad, number 10, Divine Mukasa. I think we signed him from West Ham. He's England international. He's been getting games for the under 21s. He looks a great prospect. So I'd probably I'd probably say him. You know what I mean? I'm quite excited about him maybe getting in the first team, but they always look good in these youth games, and then they sort of football swallows them up a little bit. But if I was going to pick anyone, it'd be him, Divine Mukasa.
Perfect. Steve, that's everything. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
No problem, pal. All the best.
Cheers.